Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om, Pranam Swami.
Pranam, pranam.
Hari Om. Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam, pranam, pranam. As we said, day for yesterday, today happened to be Param Puja Mataji's 121st Jayanti day. To ensure that the day does not pass without applying our mind seriously on some of her teachings. If that is clear to us, today, because every day we are hearing, but today is a special day where we are reminded of Puja Mataji's inspiring life and mission. So today, Mataji prompted us to dwell on her definition about Papa. Because that is a word she often uses. We also know Papa as Swami Ramdas, beloved Papa Swami Ramdas. So there might arise some confusion. When Mataji is referring to the word Papa every time, identifying everything with Papa, many of us would not have been able to understand how to identify a person, an embodied individuality, to the indwelling and all-pervading reality. So this question has been beautifully answered by Mataji. Today that was taken up. You can all read, Is that
Yes,
okay?
Swamiji.
Is that okay? You can all read.
Okay, Swami.
Okay.
Okay. We can zoom, Swami.
She said they'll zoom into it.
You will zoom. Okay. We can also do that. No.
No, we can zoom, yeah. We can increase the font size.
Then we go to the
Yeah.
here.
Here, Swamiji, one second.
Control A.
No, we can just remove this thing. Control A, make it bigger over here. And we Control A and make it bigger. Where is it? Now, is it looking bigger now?
Yes. Now it is very fine. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, please.
First we will read. When writing about Papa, Mataji would never refer to him except by describing his impersonal attributes, such as he who having become everything, transcending everything, transcends everything, or Nirakar, Nirgun, Shashwat, or all merciful, all pervading Papa. If anyone wrote beloved Papa, she would immediately say that is not the way you should write. There must always be an adjective showing his attributes like eternal and infinite Papa, Purushottam Papa, all merciful Papa, all compassionate Papa, all transcendent Papa, etc. You should never think of Papa as an individual or as the body. Keep always in mind that Papa is everything and beyond everything. He is God Himself. Just like we use the word Atman, Brahman, no? Clear cut. There is no confusion at all. So every time when Mataji refers or brings the word Papa, we must try to understand the impersonal aspect. Again, the particular paragraph you will read. When writing about Papa, Mataji would never refer to him except by describing his impersonal attributes, such as he who, having become everything, transcends everything, or Nirakara, Nirguna, Shashwata Papa, or all merciful, all pervading Papa. And if anyone wrote beloved Papa, she would immediately say that is not the way you should write. There must always be an adjective showing his attributes like eternal, infinite, Purushottam Papa, all merciful Papa, all compassionate Papa, all transcendent Papa. You should never think of Papa as an individual or as a body. Keep always in mind that Papa is everything and beyond everything. He is God Himself. Mataji was once asked, how can we consider anything that is transitory that gradually perishes as God? Papa today we know is also subject to the law of nature and has to perish sooner or later. Mataji replied, Papa is not merely this body. Papa is in this body, works through this body, which is purified and made divine. Papa is not merely this body. Papa is in this body, works through this body, which is purified and made divine. So you can worship that body also as God Himself, because it is through this body you are initiated, guided, helped, blessed. She would say, our Purushottam Papa is Nirguna, Nirakara, Adi Antarahita, Shashwata. All these things are impersonal attributes. He has Himself manifested as the universe and its unnumbered forms. He is also seated in our hearts. Such a Papa had taken the form of Papa Swami Ramdas to show us the way to his eternal Swarup. Now, this you please apply your mind. He has taken the form of Papa Swami Ramdas to show us the way to his eternal Swarup. Papa gave me the precious Ram Nam and asked me to chant it constantly. He added that when chanting the name, I should meditate on his eternal Swarupa. That he is Nirguna, Nirakara, Adyantarahida, Shashwata, and that he has manifested as the universe and is seated in our hearts. Papa also asked me to look upon whatever work I did as his service. This simple sadhana, though difficult in the beginning, Papa made me do by his grace alone, and Papa revealed himself in my heart, gave me the experience of my oneness with him. This oneness with him, again, for enabling us to have a little more clarity, Papa himself had explained when the first anniversary of ashram was celebrated. That is 15th May 1932. As usual, Mataji was busy in organizing everything, and devotees came from different places, and when they were about to take leave, they requested Mataji for a message. Papa himself has written this. And you know what Mataji gave? So many things she has, but this particular one we remember. You have to reach a stage where you don't feel you are neither the doer or a non-doer. In 1933, just imagine, she joined Papa in 28, and took to intense sadhana. Before that, she did not have any idea about all this. Like any other housewife, there will be some idols, pujas, some stotras. At the time, nobody has been directed. Suppose we all go back to our early life. There will be a puja room. After our bath, before we go to the school or office, definitely we all go to the puja room, pray in our own way, take some prasad, apply it on our forehead, and then we go for work. Nothing deep. So that was the background for Mataji also. Such a Mataji, when she was 25 years old, she joined Papa. And in such a short time, she was able to cross over all the hurdles and reach a state where she could feel that she is neither the doer or the non-doer. That means the sense of doership, ownership, has become completely extinct, though she was continuing as an individual and involving herself in all activities. That is the beauty of it. It is not that you are sitting in a cave withdrawing from your common run of life. She was very much with activities. And in such a short time, she was able to keep that balance. Krishna Bhai. No, 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 no. No. Okay. The other one, that would have been better. In spite of her multivarious activities, she never owns what she does, that she does anything, but says it is her Papa, the all-pervading Lord of the universe, who is doing all. On the second anniversary of Anandashram, one of the devotees assembled on the eve of his departure pressed Krishnabai for a sandesh or message. These words are written by Papa himself. His characteristic reply, her characteristic reply, full of wisdom, was, "Give up the egoistic consciousness that you are either the doer or non-doer." This is the message which everyone must live up to in his or her life. Today being her Jayanti day, we are trying to apply our mind on this. How am I to reach? This is the culminating point. I am neither the doer nor the non-doer. Everything happens, that's all. Whatever you are prompted, you act, that's all. Again, it's not out of impulse that we are. Here, there is a total absence of me and mine. That is why Puja Swamiji used to say, whenever Mataji outwardly loses temper, it was like a line drawn on a sheet of water. No impact. Because the sense of individuality is not there. Suppose you take a glass of water and you draw a line on the surface of it. Will you be able to see that line? It will not have any impact. It will not even get registered. It exists only at the time of drawing, that's all. No suffix, no prefix. So we now get an idea, spiritual progress. How do we know that we have sufficiently progressed? At the moment, we may feel we have done so much of Namam. We have visited so many, we have had the darshan of so many, we have gone through the teachings of masters, so many things. We observe Vardas, all those things are giving us joy, but that is not the real. Those are all preparatory steps. Ultimate is now, Mataji clear, in clear-cut, uncomplicated, simple words, he says, give up the egoistic consciousness that you are either the doer or non-doer. PhD, no doubt, it's the toughest. When we react to events and individuals, from what plane we are reacting? If it is from individual level, then we are miles and miles and miles to go. So here, Papa also asked me to look upon whatever work I did as his service. See? So the ownership is not there, so we remember. This simple sadhana, though difficult in the beginning, Papa made me do by his grace alone, and Papa revealed himself in my heart and gave me the experience of my one. So to everything she connects it, owes it to God, Papa. So the sense of individuality is totally absent. Something for all of us to deeply think about it on this particular day. Down towards spirituality. Very, very difficult because we have never thought about it. Even we may be doing spiritual practices. We say we are doing, but the me and mine is intact, I keep everything and also say that I am chanting, I am chanting, I never feel that I am made to chant. Though we may say that Papa did this, Papa did that, that is only at the surface level. And the more we think about it, why is it that we have not been able to do it, and why Mataji could do it in such a short time? That means she was able to understand what Ram stands for, what subtle and mysterious power stands for, what word Papa stands for her. She was very clear while chanting. She is very, very clear about it. Once again, we will read. Let us see whether it gets registered in our heart. When writing about Papa, Mataji would never refer to him except by describing his impersonal attributes, such as he who, having become everything, transcends everything, or Nirakar, Nirguna, Shashwata Papa, or all merciful, all pervading Papa. If anyone wrote Beloved Papa, she would immediately see this is not the way you should write. There must always be an adjective showing his attributes like eternal, infinite Papa, Purushottam Papa, all merciful Papa, all compassionate Papa, all transcendent Papa, etc. You should never think of Papa as an individual or as a body. Keep always in mind that Papa is everything and beyond everything, he is God himself. Mataji was once asked, how can we consider anything that is transitory that gradually perishes as God? Papa's body, we know, is also subject to the law of nature and has to perish sooner or later. Mataji replied, Papa is not merely this body. Papa is in this body, works through this body, which is purified and made divine. You can worship that body also as God himself because it is through this body you are initiated, guided, helped, and blessed. She would say our Purushottam Papa is Nirguna, Nirakara, Adi, Antarahida, and Shashwata. He is himself manifested as the universe and its unnumbered forms. He is also seated in our hearts. Such a Papa had taken the form of Papa Swami Ramdas to show us the way to his eternal Swarup. Papa gave me the precious Ram Nam and asked me to chant it constantly. He added that when chanting the name, I should meditate on his eternal Swarup, that he is Nirguna, Nirakara, Adiyantarahida, Shashwata, that he has manifested as the universe and is seated in our hearts. Papa also asked me to look upon whatever work I did as his service. This simple sadhana, though difficult in the beginning, Papa made me do by his grace alone, and Papa revealed himself in my heart, gave me the experience of my oneness with him. O limitless ocean of Papa, love Papa, you descended in the human form and you taught us by yourself doing sadhana to realize and become the infinite eternal self. See, infinite eternal self. Papa stands for that. You taught us to utter Ramna. You taught us how to meditate, treating all thoughts that arose in the mind as yourself, with a view to ultimately revealing yourself in our hearts. And you taught us to do as your service whatever work that came to us in whatever situation. O my all-knowing Papa, by these three things, namely making us talk with the mouth, thinking out our thoughts with the mind, doing work with the body, you made us do sadhana naturally, simultaneously. Similarly, O my kindness incarnate Papa, pray make us utter your name with the mouth, meditate on you with the mind, do service to you with the body in whatever situation you have placed us. Lord of the universe, Papa, prostrations to you, my beloved and all compassionate Papa. You are beginningless and endless. You are eternal. In order to enjoy your own eternal bliss, you chose to manifest yourself as the universe and the innumerable forms in it. You also came in the form of Mahatmas to teach your own other forms the way to enjoy your eternal peace and happiness. For us, you came to this world in the form of Papa Swami Ramdas. You initiated us with the name, asked us to chant it constantly. You taught us that the name stood for your Nirguna Swarup, attributeless being. You asked us to meditate on your eternal being and existence beyond all names and forms, and to do whatever work we did as your service. So everything is clear. Anybody would like to say anything?
Swamiji, this is difficult to grasp.
Ah.
The non-doer
Huh?
doer okay. You are neither doer non-doer.
You are sitting now. Something falls. You take, that is doing, You don't take, but you register in your mind, it has dropped. You are not doing anything. Both are there only when the sense of individuality is there. Your doing or non-doing is not stemming from sense of individuality. Spontaneous. The me and not that you will keep. Mataji was active. But at the same time, the doership is not there. And the non-doership is also not there.
Non-doership.
We are all doing it. Think. You become indifferent. You will not, you close your eyes. Something happens. All these things we are all doing. Non-doership also we are doing. Why should I bother? But here, the non-doer and the doer, see, it is not owned by the sense of individuality. This is there in Upanishads. Papa also has mentioned. Hari Om, Hari Om. Malli Randi. Hari Om, Hari Om. Yes. When the mind ceases to be, then you realize you are the Atman. Look without seeing, hear without listening, eat without tasting. This is the thing you have to attain. Doership. Very difficult to understand. It is there in the Upanishads. Later on we came to know. Yeah. Papa elsewhere has written, as we keep on traveling toward that, three things will become conspicuous. Spontaneity, simplicity, humility. That becomes our nature. If the ownership is there, spontaneity will not there. Your intellect will come and tell you, this is right, this is wrong, don't do this, do that. No. All these things will become clear. That is why when something she finds not right, she will immediately scold them, admonish them. But that was like, because he had lived with her, no? We come and go, we would have seen one aspect. We would not have seen her comprehensively. In this case, he was with her for 40 years, nearly. Then that's why one day he was sharing with us. Her anger is something like a line drawn on a surface of a water. When you do that, for a split second there is a vibration, no? Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Malli Randi. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om. What do you say? Come again? Malli Randi, na?
క్షేమంగా వెళ్ళిరండి
Eh?
క్షేమంగా వెళ్ళిరండి
క్షేమంగా వెళ్ళండి.
Go safe.
Buses come.
Yes, Swami. They are keeping the luggage.
Sure. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. చాలా సంతోషములు. హరి ఓం. హరి ఓం, హరి ఓం, హరి ఓం. హరి ఓం. హరి ఓం. హరి ఓం.
Swamiji,
Ah,
when you say you are neither the doer neither nor the not doer,
hmm.
it means when something is being done or something is happening, it is being done through you.
Ah. It is difficult to understand it through intellect, what she said. But we can try to know like this, that every time, though the doing is happening, the doership is doership is resting with that higher power.
The act of doing is not with us.
We are doing, it has been rooted through us, but at the same time we have been prompted, we have been motivated, we have been asked to do that. That is a stage which, if the intellect starts interpreting, it will not be able to understand. Because intellect always has its rights and wrongs, it has its own judgments based upon the previous experience. So better we will try that, It's not trying to understand it through our intellect, but we will try in our own way. Like when we are chanting, we can try, how is it made possible for me to feel that I am chanting? I can't erase that I am chanting. How is it made possible for me to feel that I am chanting? Like that we try to go within. When we close our eyes and when we chant, this exercise, suppose we do that, probably we might get some clue of this non-doership. At the same time we are doing. We do not own, It's just like a boss giving an instruction to a clerk, get things done. He does it because the boss says, that's all. He does not think about anything else. Boss has asked him to do it, he is doing it. Because he has 100% trust in God, boss. And boss has employed him. So naturally, whatever the boss says, he accepts it. So he won't question the boss whether I should do it or not. To do it efficiently, that is left to us. Okay. That automatically will come proportionate to the sincerity, loyalty, automatically it will come. We don't have to do anything. But we should know that it has been, it is like this, it is like this. And better you try to go back to your own life. There would have been some instances where this has been made clear. 2, 3 times we have shared our own experience, when we were working in Chennai. One day the manager asked, at that time our monthly turnover was 2 lakhs a month. So manager asked whether can we touch the target of 5 lakhs. To us, manager was an embodiment of all that is good and great. So we said yes, provided you give us from the head office spare parts, whatever we order. Then he said, you let me know. So we all prepared the intent, and we got it. It was after 15th or 20th, so we had hardly 10 days to reach the target. But everybody was on it. Unlike today everything is handled by a computer. On those days, everything has to be handled manually. Everything. If there will be an order and we allot so much part, so much, and it has to be a delivery challan has to be prepared. In the delivery challan, the part number, quantity, and then it goes to the issue section where the parts are picked, and one copy goes to the accounts department to prepare the invoice. Another copy goes along with the consignment to be sent. All these things are manual. So depending upon the intimation we received from the head office that it is on the pipeline, we started allotting it. Delivery challan were prepared, and then accounts they prepared the invoice. As soon as the consignment comes, it will be opened, and again it will be back to the concerned people. Like that, like an automaton, everything was going on. There was a coordinated effort by all the people. Nothing else was there in our mind. And every time we do the tallying manually, inching toward the target. And on 30th by 5 o'clock, we had hit the target. Next day, manager was surprised. Immediately he telephoned to head office and said, my boys have done something which nobody can imagine in 10 days' time. So I am arranging for 2 buses. There are 80, 90 people. And they will all be taken to Bangalore. We have to put them in first-class hotel. On those days, Woodlands was the first-class hotel, vegetarian hotel. I'm talking about 63, 64. So then we were all accommodated. Next day we were taken to the factory also. The chief, the factory in charge was there to receive us and took us to different departments. We have seen only a spare part, how it is manufactured, what has its function in the fuel injection equipment, all those things were explained. And after 2 days we came back. Now why I remember this? At the time of when the manager said, can you reach? There was nothing else. We never asked for anything, We never expected anything. He said, we are doing it, that's all. And he on his part, even after 60 years, we are remembering, because it touched our heart. So that means, that was the professional ethics at that time. The boss was also value-based person. Employees were also value-based person. Loyalty, sincerity, it was paramount, effectively. Though we were all suffering, we were all in dire need of money. But that was not weighing us. 24 hours, 24 hours. When Park came, manager called those who are bachelors. Can they come forward and be in the office in the night? No. Everybody volunteered. Those who are bachelors. Family people can come, agreed. We all had enlisted. Because he's telling, there is no other question. So it is spontaneous. There is no thing this way or that way. We are trying to understand the doership. No? We are involved in that activity. But it is not because I did it, no. For all practical purposes, for an outsider, individual does it. But the individual knows that he is doing it because the higher authority has asked him to do it. And here in our case, God is the higher authority. So let us try to understand this. That's why we said, we go back to our own life. There would have been many instances where we would not have registered this. Somebody says something, immediately we do that. There is no question. Even some of you might have, when you come to ashram, when if Mataji says something or Swamiji says something later, nobody would ask anything, That is final. When we come with bag to take leave of her, she will say, don't go today. Bas, there stops. There is no question of asking. Because implicit faith. Mataji cannot go wrong. ഇന്ന് പോണ്ട ശരി നാളെ പോവാം ശരി okay. Our intellect will not come and say, I already appointed, fixed the appointment, I have to get back there. Nothing. That's why we go back to our own, to people whom we have greatest respect, faith, we go as they say. So here in Mataji's case, she was able to feel that every moment of her life, because she was connecting herself to the indwelling reality within. Though a thought wells up, it is not my thought. It's a thought that has been prompted by him. Very important point for a seeker. Not for a ordinary coming and going people, no. This is for a seeker. We are trying to define for ourselves what is the state I should reach. I should be able to reach a stage where I become conscious of the presence of that adorable presence, who is the eye of my eye, ear of our ear, mind of our mind, breath of our breath, heart of our heart, life of our life, soul of our souls. It is from that it comes, it is that from that it comes, it is from that it comes. Though it is rooted through the sense of individuality. Ramnam should ultimately help me to reach that state. Handing over the assumed ownership to the real owner. Handing over the assumed ownership to the real owner. So this is what Mataji said. A very, very, very thought-provoking. Give up the egoistic consciousness that you are either the doer or non-doer. This is the message which everyone must live up to in his or her life. And today also happens to be Gandhiji's birthday. We all know that seeing Gandhiji at a distance in 1920 was the instrumental cause for Papa to turn towards God dimension. He himself has mentioned this. First, spiritual touch. And in the first in Quest of God, in his first book, he must have written in 1924 because the print came in 1925. At that time, he had written You put Gandhiji on the pedestal of the prophets and Mahatmas, avatars even. And so we will go through some of his words. Gandhiji says, I am here to serve no one else but myself, to find my own self-realization through the service of these village folk. Think about it. I am here to serve no one else but myself, to find my own self-realization through the service of these village folk. Man's ultimate aim is the realization of God. And all his activities, social, political, religious, have to be guided by the ultimate aim of the vision of God. The immediate service of human beings becomes a necessary part of the endeavor simply because the only way to find God is to see him in his creation and be one with it. The only way to find God is to see him in his creation and be one with it. A guru, for example. And the guru then says, everything is a creation of God. No? So the creator, the knowledge of the creator comes only through his creation. Blunt truth, simple truth, uncomplicated truth. When we handle anything, whether it is an object, whether it is a person, whether it is a situation, only because of that we exist, Oh, Papa, Gandhiji transforms the whole thing. The only way to find God is to see him in his creation and be one with it. Papa used to say, never in a slipshod, clumsy, irregular, half-hearted way, Everything should be handled with a touch of love, touch of perfection, touch of gratitude, touch of dedication. And this word, the only way to find God is to see him in his creation. Another chapter. Such a man will take God's name with every breath. His Rama will be awake even while the body is asleep. Rama will always be with him in whatever he does. The real death for such a devoted man will be loss of the sacred companionship. A devotee of Rama may be said to be the same as the Sthita Prajna of the Gita. He will live in the consciousness of the soul and look to the care first and last of the indweller, capital, God. Such a man will take God's name with every breath. There is no doubt whatsoever that Ramnam contains all the power that is attributed to it. No one can by mere wishing enshrine Ramnam in his heart. Untiring effort is required, as also patience. What an amount of labor and patience have been lavished by men to acquire non-existent philosopher's stone. Surely God's name is of infinitely richer value. With my hand on my breast I can say that not a minute in my life am I forgetful of God. That is why when he was shot he could say, Hey Ram. With my hand on my breast I can say that not a minute in my life am I forgetful of God. And Gandhiji's Ram is also Atma Ram. He is also in Dasharatha Ram. The same line Papa has answered. And somebody asked him. But Gandhiji was asked, you say Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. So though you say Ram stands for the impersonal aspect, You say Raghupati Raghava Rajaram. Then spontaneously the reply came from Gandhiji. He is there, even in Raghupati. He was very clear right from the beginning. The saint in Gandhiji, when we try to understand that, so many things become clear. And there are so many things that are tallying with Papa. Gandhiji's works are, in different books. So many books. He was also the editor of Harijan and Young India, Ethical Religion. So very difficult to compile. God prompted one Deshpandeji to cull out the relevant portion from and bring a small book called Pathway to God. That is how we all knew about it. Because to read his book is very difficult. But this is a condensed version, compiled one, categorized. And when we went to Ahmedabad Navjeevan Press, we happened to see this. Really thrilled. Because everything is in a very small book and every aspect has been touched. Very helpful for a sadhaka. No, the small books. Pathway to God. See, this is the book. Categorized. Very simple book. Intellectual sadhana, God, soul, world. Moral sadhana, truth, love, ahimsa, self-restraint, selfless service. Spiritual sadhana, faith, prayer, ramnam, dedication. Spiritual experience, some aspects of experience. So the saint in Gandhiji, Papa is a God-realized saint. Prior to coming in contact with Papa's teachings, we were all under the impression that he is a national leader, freedom. He was leading the freedom movement. He undertook a lot of social reforms. Beyond that, we did not know. We had a photo, no doubt, right? We never bothered to understand also. And later on, when we were very young, we happened to go through Gandhiji's various books on family life, education, economics. Like that, 3-4 books were there. But in none of the books, this sainthood has been projected. Only after coming to Papa's, when we started reading Papa's article on Gandhiji, then when he said he was essentially a man of God, from there we started working it out. Otherwise, we would have thought, okay, it's a freedom, a great saint, that's all. A great Mahatma, that's all. But when we went through this, and then corresponding to his later editions, then only we understand why he named experiments with the truth. Truth means we thought, opposite of lying is called. But later on only we came to know truth stands for God, eternal. That which is eternal is true, unchanging. So he was experimenting with that God in the form of truth. Later on only we could understand all those things. So from there we have taken out these. I am here to serve no one else but myself, to find my own self realization through the service of this village folk. Man's ultimate aim is the realization of God, and all his activities, social, political, religious, have to be guided by the ultimate aim of the vision of God. The immediate service of human beings becomes a necessary part of the endeavor, simply because the only way to find God is to see Him in His creation and be one with it. What is the mark of a man who has Rama enshrined in his heart? Such a man will take God's name with every breath. Rama will be awake even while the body is asleep. Rama will be always with him in whatever he does. The real death for such a devoted man will be the loss of the sacred companionship. A devotee of Rama may be said to be the same as the Sthita Pratnya of the Gita. Devotee of Rama. He will live in the consciousness of the soul and look to the care first and last of the indweller. Such a man will take God's name with every breath. There is no doubt whatsoever that Ramnama contains all the power that is attributed to it. No one can, by mere wishing, enshrine Ramnam in his heart. Untiring effort is required as also patience. God's name is of infinitely richer value. With my hand on my breast, I can say that not a minute in my life am I forgetful of God. So these are the words we try, because we are all votaries of Ramnam, no? So we want to improve the quality of our chanting. So these words might help us. So 121st Jayanti of Puja Mataji and 155th Jayanti of Gandhiji. For a spiritual seeker, there are so many things to be remembered. We pray for their blessings, who are now in the form of remembrance in our heart, to somehow hand over the assumed ownership to the real owner. Very difficult, but please enable us to try at least. And in Gandhiji's case, we are praying, enable us to see Him in the creation, not in a selective way, but in all His creation, which means widening our love circle. And for that, just like you said, not a moment goes without remembering Him. Kindly bless us to remember Him through Ramnam. So these are the fervent prayers we offer and pray for their grace and blessings on us. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om. Pranam. Pranam, pranam, pranam.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram.
Namaskaram Swamiji.
Namaskaram, namaskaram. Hari Om, Hari Om.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam, pranam, pranam.